Hi everyone, welcome to my channel The Education Hub. In this video we are going to learn modals. Yesterday we discussed about can, could, me, might, shall, should, will, would. But today in this video we will learn about the modal which were left yesterday. These are must, ought to, used to, need, dare. As you know that modals help to mean verb in the formation of tense except need and dare. So let us start how to use of modals in details. First we will know about use of must. Must is used to express necessity, compulsion in the present. It means वर्तमान की आवश्यकता या अनिवार्यता व्यक्त करने के लिए हम must का यूज करते हैं. For example, you must help your friend in the hour of need. You must run fast to catch the train. You must work hard to get good marks. We must save something for our future. Must is also used to express necessity, compulsion in the future. भविष्य में आवश्यकता या अनिवार्यता व्यक्त करने के लिए भी must का यूज किया जाता है. For example, I must go by the end of this month. It means I shall have to go by the end of this month. You must vacate the room by tomorrow. It means you will have to vacate the room by tomorrow. I must complete it by tomorrow evening. It means I shall have to complete it by tomorrow evening. Must is also used to express permanent ruling or prohibition. अस्थायी निर्णय, आदेश या निषेध, मनाही व्यक्त करने के लिए भी must का यूज किया जाता है. For example, we must follow the traffic rules. It is permanent, but we must not move in the wrong side of the road. It is permanently prohibition. Here, must is used to express emphatic advice and determination. Let us understand with the help of example. You must give up smoking. It is emphatic advice. We must crush the terrorist. It is the example of determination. Must is also used to express a sense of duty. कर्तव्य बोध व्यक्त करने के लिए भी must का यूज किया जाता है. Let us understand. We must respect our elders. This is our duty. We must serve our country. This is also our duty. Must is also used to express a strong possibility. It means प्रबल संभावना व्यक्त करने के लिए भी must का यूज किया जाता है. For example, there must be something wrong. There must be a mistake somewhere. There must be a school in this area. These sentences are indicating about the strong possibility. Point to be remembered. Must is used for the present and near future. It is not used in the past time as it has no past form. In that sense, past of have to, that is had to, is to be used. As yesterday we had to go to office early. Let us understand about how to use of ought to. Ought to used for infinite. Ought to used for infinitive too. For example, you ought to learn English. We ought to drink wine. In present time, we use present infinitive, that is to after ought, and then use first form of the verb. Ought to verb 1. Like it. You ought to learn English. In these sentences, we used ought to verb first. In past time, we use perfect infinitive, that is to have after ought and then use third form of the verb. You ought to have learned English. We ought to have drank wine. Infinitive to is not used in negative or interrogative sentence, but in affirmative sentence to is used with ought because it is necessary. Let us understand with the help of example. We ought respect our parents. This sentence is wrong because in this sentence ought is used without to. As you know that ought used with to in simple present are affirmative sentence, so we will write we ought to respect our parents. Ought to use used to express moral responsibility, social binding. नैतिक दायित्व या सामाजिक बंधन बतलाने के लिए भी ought to का यूज किया जाता है. We ought to labor hard. Student ought to be polite. We ought to love our country. In these sentences, ought to used for represent responsibility or social binding. Ought to is used for advice. You ought to consult a good doctor. You ought to serve your country honestly. Here, ought to used to represent a strong possibility. India ought to win the match. He ought to be here by now. Let us understand about used to. Used to is used for habit. Used to express past habit. Always used with infinitive to. No present form of it. Used in affirmative, negative, interrogative, same. For example, he used to go out for walk. He used not to go out for walk. Used he to go out for a walk. In these sentences, you are seeing that used to used here in affirmative sentence, here negative sentence, and here used for interrogative sentence. Used to also use in passive voice. She is used to taking tea. I am used to simple life. Used to used for habitual or regular actions. Mahatma Gandhi used to spin for an hour. I used to walk 10 kilometers every day. It is also used to represent the state of a person or things. For example, I used to live in Kolkata. He used to be a player. Used to used as an adjective in the sense of habituated or accustomed, but when it is used according to it, it is not used as modal auxiliary. In any sentence, if modal auxiliary is used to, it takes to infinitive, but when it is used for habituated or accustomed to, use with used as preposition. Now let us understand use of dare. Dare is used both as the principal verb and as defective verb. Dare as a principal verb. As a principal verb, dare means to challenge, to face, to oppose. It is used with all the tenses and is followed by to in affirmative sentences. Example, he dared to face his enemy. He dared to face his enemy. Some of the older boys had dared him to do it. Dare as defective verb. As a defective verb, dare means to venture. As a defective verb, it is used only in the negative and interrogative sentence. In this form, it does not take to. For example, it dared not face his enemy. He dared not face his enemy. He did not dare say what he thought. Use of need. Need is used as the principal verb and also as defective verb. When it is used as principal verb, it means to stand in need of. Examples: I need his help. He does not need my help. Does he need your help? Or I needed his help. Need as a defective verb. Need as a defective verb is used in the negative and interrogative sentences. In negative and interrogative sentences, need is used to express weakness, necessity, or obligation. In this form, it can be used only in the present tense. Examples: I need not go there. You need not worry. He need not go. She needs to lie down because she is tired. Need is often used as an auxiliary, either uninflected and followed by an infinitive without to, or uninflected and followed by an infinitive with to, meaning to be obligated, must. Let us understand modals and their negatives. Non-negative, uncontracted negative and uncontracted negative. Can, used to, cannot or cannot. Here, can't. Could not, couldn't. May not, mean. Might not, might. Shall not, shan't. Should not, shouldn't. Will not, won't. Would not, don't, wouldn't. Must not, mustn't. Ought not to. Used to, used not to, usedn't to. Need not, needn't. Dare not, daren't. If need and dare used as full verb, not used as modal, then need and dare converted into needs and dares and takes with itself to. It is used as helping verb in a sentence. For example, he needs to qualify the test. He dares to accept the challenge. It means यदि किसी वाक्य में dare और need का प्रयोग फुल वर्ब के रूप में ना होकर हेल्पिंग वर्ब के रूप में होता है तो नीड और डेयर में एस ऐड करके उसे सिंगुलर बना देते हैं और उसके साथ इन्फिनिटिव टू का प्रयोग करते हैं. So dear friends, now we have learned how and where to use primary auxiliary and modal auxiliaries. We use primary modals auxiliary in present: can, will, may, shall, ought to, must. In past, we use might, should, would, could, used to, and ought to. That's all for today. If you have any doubt or questions or suggestions, so please write in the comment section. And also, you like this video, subscribe and my channel, do share video so can learn other, and hit the bell icon to getting regular update related to the course. Don't forget to mention your feedback because your opinion will help me to encourage. Thanks for watching.